Do you want to know the secret to success? I always love that sound, but like not just in business, but in fulfillment, happiness, health, relationships, and everything else that you can possibly imagine. I'll tell you, it's not consuming content or hiring a guru or waiting for a miracle because nobody is coming to save you. It comes down to your commitments to yourself, to your family, your loved ones, your business, and the people that you choose to serve. And those commitments that you make are completely 100% dependent on your daily practices. And so what are you actually doing day in and day out, and where is it taking you? Are your daily practices supporting your goals or lifting you into your greatest power? Or are they sabotaging your goals and dragging you down into the depths? In this episode, I'm going to help you optimize your daily practices to set you up for success in life, business, fulfillment, health, relationships, and anything else that you can imagine. And I'm going to give you the tools to win. This is an episode I released midway through last year, but it's more important now than ever to establish the principles covered in this episode. So without further ado, let's dive into the gold, and just for all intents and purposes, that beautiful sound again. Now let's cue the intro. So today's episode is going to be fun because I'm going to whip out all the skeletons in my closet today. And today is about committing to your practices. And if you heard in the intro, we're going to talk about how to not completely destroy any chance you have at success in business or life in general. Because I've probably made all of these mistakes. I am not going to say I am a master self-sabotager because I don't want to own that, because what we speak becomes true. I am amazing. I am productive. I am loving. I am happy. I'm all those things. And in the past, I have had moments where I have severely committed self-sabotage in business, in life, in relationships, and everywhere else. And I've spent a lot of time, money, energy doing the work, discovering what was under it, where it came from. And then I spent a lot of time doing the work to understand how to mitigate it from happening, even if I don't recognize that it's coming, by doing certain things in my life that don't allow it to happen. And that's what I'm going to cover today, right? So when we think about this, like, none of us want to sabotage. Nobody, like us, and I mean, I am going to say this. Nobody wants to sabotage your life. On the outside, if we look out into the world, if we look at some entrepreneurs, we look at some people, we look at addictions, we look at choices, we could believe it to be true that people want to sabotage. But the truth is that they don't. They want to feel something or eliminate a feeling of something. And most of the time, self-sabotage comes from unexpressed or unfelt emotions. And when I mean that, and when I say that, I mean that because we're all grown up in our life, right? We have parents, we have life, we have church, we have school, we have socioeconomics, we have all these different things that influence the way in which we see the world. And when we're 0 to 7, we form our paradigm. And our paradigm is our belief system of the world. And these are the things that run with us and that stay with us for our life. And then for the rest of our life, we spend all of our time and energy learning that story and learning what our triggers are, learning what's there, and then working on it and solving it from the inside out so that we can have what we want. And culturally, there's a whole lot of like not really support of like winning all the time or growing or happiness. And it's like this negative shit cloud. And so a lot of us want to grow, and then we're surrounded by negative energy or people that perpetuate the cycle. And so like there's this whole big mix here, right? And so at the end of the day, like, I believe you and everybody in my life that I know and every person I ever meet wants something great. They want success. They want happiness. They want joy. They want whatever it is that they want. And it's easy to look on the outside and be like, oh, they're sabotaging it, or oh, they quit, or oh, they went back to that. But the truth is that that's the best they can do in that moment. And that's okay. That's a part of their journey, right? But in that moment, there's ways that we can support empathetically, compassionately. And there's also ways in which they can put containers on their life or certain things into practice that will allow them to see that and to choose that distinction and to do things differently. And so It's a really important topic, and this could be a 25-hour episode, and I'm not going to get into personal development, all these pieces. But really, where I see this rampant is I see this rampant in business. I see this rampant in business, and that is a product of it being rampant in life, right? Bad habits in life, distractions, lack of focus, which then carries over into business, missed opportunities, focused on the wrong things, diminishing returns, and all these different areas that don't support us. And I've been through almost all of them. I mean, I've lost lots and lots of money. I've lost businesses. I've lost friends. I've also made money and made friends and launched businesses. And then I've ridden this roller coaster. It actually felt like, for me, it felt like I was riding a roller coaster for 8 years. And, no, 9 years, 9 years. And it was like, I'm up, everything's great, best year of business. And the next year, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. And I kind of became addicted to the cycle. And the reason is because the cycle gave me something to focus on. It was energy, right? And it was like, oh, let me prove it. Look, oh, it's hard again. Let me prove I can make it. Let me prove I can make it. I was making things difficult. And now I think I've had this breakthrough and growth maybe in the last year. And now um, we're not at up, up, up. We're climbing up, but we're climbing up higher than we've ever climbed. And there's no come down on this one. Things are different. Things are very, very different. Things are predictable. Things are easy. Things are simple. Things are clear. And there's no emotions involved in it. And that's a good thing because I'm not making emotionally rash decisions or being reactive to what's happening because I've put some tools in practice or tools in place to carry a foundation of practices that I do daily and weekly and monthly and yearly that guarantee my success and don't allow the train to come off the tracks and don't allow for the car to swerve into a different lane. And they keep it on the path. And that path is the path to success. And, I've said it for years. And sometimes I feel like a hypocrite when I'm like, Rome wasn't built overnight. Rome wasn't built overnight. But yet I sit here and I cry at my computer because I get frustrated that the result didn't come immediately, or that I poured my heart and soul into it and it didn't work, or it kind of worked and then the results weren't there. And, I wear my heart on everything I do. I love what I do. And I realize that because of my lack of containers and the right system and support around me, is I was reacting to a temporary feeling instead of the fact that it was a milestone towards building my Rome. And I was giving it too much weight and too much effort and too much energy, and then I was creating more of the same. And I, quite frankly, couldn't do it anymore. I was losing my marriage, I was losing my kids, I was losing myself, my joy, my happiness, and everything that I have in this fleeting life, in this short, short life. And I was creating containers of the wrong reasons or for the wrong things that had me walking around afraid and sad and scared and miserable and thinking that I had to work and I couldn't have free time and I had to constantly be doing something because my measuring stick was broken. And so for me, what I focus on every day now is daily progress and knowing that there is no finish line. There is no finish line. Like, this is not a race with an end. This is an unlimited race. This is a race till infinity. You are going to race your race until the end of your life, and I'm going to race mine to the end of my life. And we're going to hit milestones. We're going to maybe set our best mile record where we're maybe going to get stronger. Maybe we're going to, find a new path. But no matter what, we're always going to keep running or walking or riding or whatever it is, flying, whatever your modality is for your life and the practice in which you're going or the direction in which you're going. And it's important to remember that that's all it is. It's a game. It's a game every day. And it's a game that has to be played. And in any game, there's no way to play a perfect game over and over and over. It's impossible. You can't play a perfect game of chess 100 times in a row. You can't play a perfect game of football 100 times in a row. You can't run a perfect race 100 times in a row. Because first, perfection is all in the eyes of our perception, right? Like how we measure ourselves. But then also is that we as human beings are learning creatures and we learn every single day. And part of learning is having things that don't work, having things that aren't ideal, having things that, fail, quite frankly, or smack on the face or, get us punched in the gut, metaphorically is what it feels like, right? And it's in those opportunities and how we look at those opportunities that we find a path forward. We look at it, what worked, what didn't work, what can I do differently? And the moment we look at what didn't work and what can I do differently, we put it into practice, we're back to running the perfect game. Because the perfect game is awareness. The perfect game is awareness and then intentional choice to continually make ourselves better. And so I want to share with you the practices that I use, my friends use, my coaches use, and a mixture of all the wisest people in my life, myself included, that have given me the most success on how to set up our life to win. And this is my framework for ensuring my commitments are honored all the way through the end. And so I'm going to be sharing with you 6 steps. Okay, so 6 steps. If you're watching me on video, I put 10 fingers up, but I meant 6. Okay, so the first one, step 1, is you need to set yourself up for success. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, oh, of course I have to set myself up for success, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is that most of us don't do it, right? And what do I mean by set yourself up for success? You have to optimize your environment to support your goals, okay? You have to have a clean workspace. You have to strategically place affirmations in your day. You have to schedule break time on your calendar. You have to do a lot of different things that keep you in a moment and environment. If you are in your workspace or in your life and you are constantly in this state of, oh, I have to get this done, or I'm not going to get this done, or oh, I got to clean the office, or I got to get laundry, or I got to do blah, 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 I got to do blah, blah, blah. You aren't fully in your work, and you can't be. And you can't create fully fledged results with part-time effort. And so you have to optimize your entire environment to support your goals. And some of the things that I talk about and some of the lessons that I've ever learned, like house cleaning, for example, right? For me, when I clean my house, it takes me like 6 hours to clean it top and bottom, right? And then when I hired a house cleaner who charges us $100 a week, it takes her 3 hours, but it buys back 6 to 7 hours of my time to focus on tasks that I want to do. Meal prepping. I've hired local kids in the neighborhood to come over, and I've gone to the grocery store and bought all the ingredients. I'm like, hey, cook this, cook this, cook this, and separate it into these containers for like 30, 40 bucks. And then I have 7 days of meals done for 40 bucks and I don't have to cook. And I just bought myself back 4 hours of time every 3 or 4 days, right? And so for me, when I think about setting yourself up for success, step number 1 of that is optimizing your environment to support your goals. Now, I don't know what those are, but let's say you have fitness goals and you want to do 100 squats a day. Well, in your office, you better have a squat spot. And every time you stand up from your chair, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom till you do 10 squats. That would set you up for success. So the level in which you take that is up to you, but you have to design your space intentionally. Accidental designs do not work. You have to design it intentionally for a reason, knowing where you want to go so you can get there, okay? Step number 2 of setting yourself up for success is reducing uncertainty. So this is where you start to pre-plan. You have to know what you're going to wear. You have to have your go-to breakfast or lunch delivered each day. Don't overwhelm yourself with decisions, right? You should do a lot of the thinking the night before, and this is one of the ways that you prep your day. If you know in the morning your calls start at 9 a.m. and there's all these things that you have to get done, well, do some stuff the night before to get it done. Lay out your outfits, pack your lunch, pack your bag, clean your office, set up your desk, write out what you're going to record, plan your workout so you actually do it. Like, you have to reduce uncertainty. Any ambiguity or uncertainty will cause anxiety and a lack of focus, okay? The next step of setting yourself up for success, you have to create routines. And I covered this in a lot of detail in episode 45, but you have to create routines because you need consistency for that momentum. And so your routine could be, I get up at 7 a.m. and I spend 15 minutes in silence. I get up at 7:30 a.m. and I go for a 15-minute walk. But what you have to do is you have to set non-negotiables, right? Non-negotiables. It's not if I feel like it, or if the weather's nice, or if the kids do or don't do this. It's a non-negotiable. You have to set up a routine that's a non-negotiable. And that means it's non-negotiable. Just like it's a non-negotiable, you have to eat every day. Well, technically you could fast, but you have to eat to survive. Technically, it's non-negotiable that you have to go to the bathroom. You can try to hold it all day, but you're going to get a UTI and you're not going to like how your bladder feels and you're going to end up hurt and it doesn't work, right? There's things that are non-negotiables. Well, in your life, your routines for your success are non-negotiables, and you have to see them that way. And you have to see them that way. So that's about setting yourself up to succeed, is by having non-negotiables, okay? And then the last part of setting yourself up for success that's important for me is having a process for completing projects. Having a process for completing projects, because all of us, I know all of us, I'll just speak for all of us. We all probably have at least 100 things on our to-do list, right? And what we'll do is we'll look at it, we'll pick one or two, and then we'll look at it, we'll pick another one, we jump, we don't prioritize, or we think that we're going to get all of them done in one day. And the truth is we're not. But we have to have a process for completing projects. And so I cover that in detail in episode 44 on outcome-based process management and things like that, which are really, really easy. So step number one for creating containers or practices that support you is setting yourself up for success. And so what you want to do is you want to optimize your environment to support your goals, reduce uncertainty, create routines, and have a process for completing projects. And that's all encompassing for setting yourself up for success. Now, step number two is the next step, which is creating an accountability circle. And when I mean an accountability circle is you want to have a group of 3 to 5 trustworthy friends who hold you to your highest power and won't put up with your bullshit excuses, who see you for who you are and hold you there and don't accept excuses, don't accept backdoors, don't accept mediocrity. They love you and they support you, but they give you the truth. And that also means making sure that your group of 3 to 5 friends doesn't support your mediocrity. Like, hey man, I know I was going to get that to you today, but I was just kind of tired. I'll do it tomorrow. And they're like, oh, it's fine. No, it's not fine. You broke your word. You gave me your agreement. You had that integrity with me. You had that commitment. And then you allowed something that should have been a non-negotiable to become negotiable. And it trickles through every area in your life. And so in your accountability circle, you need to have a group of 3 to 5 trustworthy friends who hold you to your highest power and won't put up with your bullshit excuses. Now, I live in this world of digital marketing. And if you look online or you ask us, we can all say that we have 500 friends, 600 friends, 750 friends. We go to conferences, we go on podcasts, we hear each other, we know each other, right? We know the version of each other that is seen online. But if you are not texting them every day or calling them or having syncs with them and getting into the deep stuff of like what you're afraid of and what gets in your way and crying and laughing and all of those things, then those are amazing people. They're acquaintances, they're friends. They're not life friends. They're not like soul partners, soul brothers and sisters, like that deep level of friends, because friends love us and hold us to our power. And so make sure you are focusing on the relationships that are going to create the results that you want, that are going to push you in the direction that you want to go, and that are going to support you in getting there. And even if you lose the path and you get tired and you want to quit, they never let you stop walking. They maybe just put your arms around their shoulders and help you step a little longer. Or you're too tired to open your eyes, and so they walk in front of you, guiding you. Those are the people that you want in your life. And so you want to keep them close and create a predictable routine to check in for accountability. I do this with some of my friends. I'm like, hey, I'm just going to check you in the morning, text you in the morning to tell you what I'm committed to that day. Or I'm going to text you at the end of the day to tell you how I'm going to feel. And I have this with 3 friends in my life, all that are my accountability partners, and we do it with each other to hold each other accountable. And yes, there are times I don't want to text. There are times I don't want to share how I feel. And it's in that moment that I realize that that container I made is what's going to support my growth. Because as soon as I express that emotion or that fear or that ambiguity or uncertainty, I get it out and I find a path forward, and I don't marinate on it and I don't let it poison me from the inside out. So step number 2 is creating an accountability circle. So step number 1, set yourself up for success. Step number 2, create an accountability circle. Have a group of 3 to 5 trustworthy friends who hold you to higher power, support you, keep them close, create a predictable routine to check in for accountability. Step number 3, you have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there. And so here's what I mean by this. If you have a goal and if you have a vision and the only person who knows about it is you don't have a chance to succeed. So when you get clear on my vision, your goal, whether it's I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to build an email list of 1,000 people, or I want to launch a new product, the moment that you have that clarity, You need to go post it on social media. Go tell your family and friends. Let the world know what you're up to. Be loud and proud about it. And now you can't close that door and run away. And here's the thing. A lot of us won't post about it because we want it to be perfect and we want to show what it looks like. It never happens. Post it and get going and get to work. You have to put it out there. You have to speak it into the world for it to be true. You have to own it tenaciously because nobody's going to own it for you. And the moment you take it out of your head and you put it into the world, it gets real and you go into overdrive. And you have to honor that and you have to honor yourself. So number 3 is you have to put yourself out there. And that doesn't mean just with your 3 to 5 friends, like publicly. Call your family. Call somebody in your life where you're like, they don't get what I do and they don't understand it and I don't feel like they support me. Tell them anyways. Post on social media. If it scares the crap out of you and like, I don't want anybody to know, post it. Watch. It's freeing. That's the definition of freedom. Is standing in your power, standing in your truth, and owning it. And listen, you might say, I want to build a rocket ship to get to Mars. And you might build a rocket ship and you might only hit the moon and you might hit the atmosphere. And guess what? You might never even get it off the ground, but you still made progress. Elon Musk said this. He said this, and I'm going to summarize briefly because I don't remember the exact quote. And he said, basically, he likes to accomplish or convince himself and work towards accomplishing a 10-year vision in 6 months. And the worst that happens is that he's further along than ever and doesn't make it, but that's better than believing that it's going to take 10 years to get there. And that, you have to have that aggression. You have to have that clarity. You have to have that drive, right? And I think about it, I'm like, yeah, if I have a goal that's 10 years and I give myself 6 months to do it, I'm going to push and I'm going to learn fast. I'm going to iterate fast and I might make it, I might not. But I can guarantee you that I am further along than anyone else in the world who's working on a 10-year timeline and what I accomplished for 6 months. And there's no way to lose that game. So step number 3 is put yourself out there. When you have those goals, that vision, that drive, what you want to do, post it. Post it frequently. Let the world hold you accountable because that's going to be your path to get there. Okay? So remember, step number 1 is set yourself up for success. Step number 2, create an accountability circle. Step number 3, put yourself out there. And then step number 4 is think who, not how. Think who, not how. Prime example, Steve Jobs didn't build iPhones and Richard Branson doesn't code websites as far as I know. But they have the vision and they find the people who could do those things and support them getting there. So find experts that you can enroll in on your project. Don't think you need to do everything yourself. And I fell into this trap for 8 years of like, oh, I have to do it myself. I have to learn it. I have to learn it. I have to learn it. I have to do it. I can't afford it. They can't do it. The truth is, I just yawned at myself because I believed that for 8 years. That was good. Boring story there because I don't believe it anymore. The truth is it slows down progress. There's a reason that people are experts. And there's a reason that people are generalists, and that's okay. And you need to find the people that have the ability to get you there and figure out how to enroll them. And bring them in on your team. Bring them in on your life. Bring them in on your vision. You can enroll people in your personal life, like I talked about, like yard work and house cleaning and laundry and meal prep. I'm not the best at those things. They take a lot of time and they don't support me getting to my vision. And so I enroll others into that vision, which allows me to accomplish all of those things, reduce stress and uncertainty, and then focus on what's going to move the needle in my life. And so you need to think about the who, not the how. When you have the why and the who, the how figures itself out, right? The how is never the path because the how is transactional, right? It's like a checklist. It's a strategy. But that also completes itself. Then you need another how and another how because it's a little too shallow. It needs to be deeper in the vision. So find the who. So think the who, not the how. You want strategists, specialists, and implementers. Find the people, create authentic connections, invest in that relationship, and enroll them in on your vision. The right people will find ways to contribute or support. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So think through the lens of thinking who and not how. Okay, so far what we have for committing to your practices. Step number 1, set yourself up for success. Step number 2, create an accountability circle. Step number 3, put yourself out there. Step number 4, think who, not how. And step number 5, schedule regular check-ins. Schedule weekly check-in meetings and monthly reflections with everybody in your life that matters. The who's, the accountability circles, with yourself, reflection time, thinking time. You need to schedule weekly check-in meetings and monthly reflections. Ask yourself, am I focusing on the true needle movers? Am I driving this project forward? Is this a distraction? Is it aligned with my long-term goals? Could I be doing it differently? Could I enroll somebody else in on this project? Am I overcomplicating it? Etc. Here's the guaranteed about life and business, is that what got you here isn't going to get you there. It's going to change every day. And I know that there were times in my career, in my journey, where I was like, oh, I just want this to be predictable. I just want this to be predictable. I just want it to be the same. I just want to be the same. But the truth is I really don't. I really don't. That's just stagnation. I sit here and I'm like, I want to build the biggest business in the world and I want to help 1 billion people, right? I want to help 1 million entrepreneurs better their life and business and have financial freedom through their jobs and business and what they create, loving their customers, doing all those things, right? Well, if all I do is sit here every day and just record a podcast and don't disseminate it or change the structure of it or do a live video every day and don't try to change anything different or just do a post every day or do the same things every day, I'm never going to get there. Iterations and reinvention are the path to growth and success. We're entrepreneurs. Being an entrepreneur means that we committed to uncertainty. We love uncertainty and we love solving it. It gives us something to focus on and a challenge to solve. And when you can fall in love with the fact that it's going to be different every day, foundationally, you're going to have principles that remain every day, like your daily practice, this entire podcast episode. That's going to remain the same. But then what happens inside of that is where we make adjustments. It's just where we make adjustments. Like you might be going outside in the snow and bundle up because it's 35 degrees in snow. And you're like, oh, I'm going to bundle up. I'm going to bundle up because I'm going to be cold. And you might get out there and be like, oh, it's sunny. I'm sweating. Well, you're not going to wear your jacket and sweat. You're just going to take your jacket off and adjust so that you're comfortable, right? That's how it gets to be. And so you need to schedule regular check-ins with the people in your life, your accountability groups, and yourself for all of these reflections so you can make sure that you are focusing on the right things for the right reasons that are going to get you to where you want to go. So scheduling regular check-ins, and I'm going to repeat these questions again, and these are just some of them. I have thousands that I ask myself. I ask my team. I have all of this. I actually had a dream last night about our business, and this is what I love about this. I had a dream about our business, and I realized that there's some things that I want to share with the world that don't do well on video and don't do well on podcasts, but they need to be written. And I was like, I really need to spend some time and create pillar content on the website, like these go-tos of like email marketing 101 or how to do this 101, and it needs to be in written word. And I was like, okay, I'll add it to my list and I'll sync with the team. And this morning, without saying anything, Tyler sent me a message and said, hey man, I'm actually going to read it to you right now. Hold on. He says, hey, I'm writing a blog post and we're optimizing all the blog posts on our website. They're going to look so much better and optimize to rank on Google. And I said, oh my God, man, I had a dream about that last night. He said, very timely. It's been on my mind for a while, but now feeling like I have the space to do this for real. And I love that. I had a dream about it. He felt it and has been working on it. We both agree that it's something we need to work on, and that's an adjustment that we're making in this moment. So schedule these regular check-ins so that you can be driving with your team and on the same frequency, thinking the same, aligned to the same vision, so we're all solving the same things at once, and we're doing it as creatively as possible. So number 5 is schedule regular check-ins. And then my favorite one, and probably the most underutilized, probably the most neglected, is step number 6. Celebrate your wins publicly. Do it. Feel good about yourself and celebrate all wins, big and small. I don't know why, but I just see this culture where people are afraid to celebrate their victories. People are afraid to post their victories. They're afraid other people are going to bring them down. I don't give a shit. I really, really don't. It's not for them. It's for you. But celebrate them. Own it. Own it. Post it. Every one of them. Post that you won today because you went on a 10-minute walk. Post that you won today because you recorded a podcast. Post that you won because you made $1 million. But post it. Be proud about it. You've worked to get there. And every single win is progress and momentum. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Whew. Gazoon tight. Every single win, you've earned it. And it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. It's relative. You've earned it. You need to celebrate it, which stamps it in. Yes, this worked. Yes, I rewarded myself. Yes, I should do this again. Go, 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 go. Celebrate it. Share it with pride, proudly, loving all that you've done to get there, no matter how big or small, because that's going to help you, and it's also going to help the people that follow you, the people in your life. And yeah, there's going to be haters. There's been haters since the dawn of time. So what? So what? They don't really hate you. They hate the fact that you did it and they haven't. Because if somebody hated you, they wouldn't follow you. They wouldn't read your posts. What they're looking for is an invitation to expose their insecurities and hoping that somebody will meet them with love so that they have a chance to break through and they don't get matched with more hate, which trains them to continue to do it. But that's a whole different podcast, okay? So step number 6 is celebrate your wins, okay? So I'm going to wrap up by going over the 6 steps again for committing to your practices and setting yourself up to win, okay? Step number 1, set yourself up for success. Optimize your environment to support your goals, reduce uncertainty, create routines, and have a process for completing projects. Step number 2, create an accountability circle. Have a group of 3 to 5 trustworthy friends who hold you to your highest power and won't put up with your BS excuses. Keep them close and create a predictable routine to check in for accountability. Step number 3, put yourself out there. Post it on social media. Tell your family and friends. Let the world know what you're up to. Be loud about it, and now you can't not do it. I wrote the F word in there, but I didn't feel like dropping the F word in that moment. Think who and not how, right? So find experts you can enroll in on your project. Don't think you need to do everything yourself. You want strategists, specialists, and implementers. Find the people, create authentic connections, and invest in that relationship and enroll them on your vision. The right people will find ways to contribute or support. Step number 5, schedule regular check-ins. Schedule weekly check-in meetings and monthly reflections. Ask yourself, am I focusing on the true needle movers? Am I driving this project forward? Is it a distraction? Is it aligned with my goals? Could I be doing it differently? Could I enroll somebody in this project? Am I overcomplicating it? And then step number 6 is celebrate your wins. Do it, feel good about it, be loud and proud, and celebrate all wins, big or small. And so speaking of celebrating wins, I'm going to celebrate a win because 1 week from today, on July 15th, I think, we'll be publishing our 50th episode of this podcast. And listen, I wanted to do this podcast for 9 years and I kept getting in my way and kept getting in my way. And so we finally decided to do it. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I actually am really proud of the fact that we have our 50th episode going up because I never thought I would actually do it. And the truth was is that I kept it in my mind and I never told the right people. And to give you an example of putting yourself out there, when Tyler joined my team and we came up here, I looked at my wife and Tyler and said, I really want to launch a podcast. And they said, by when? And I was like, oh, I don't know yet. No, pick a date. By when? I'm like, no. And because I told them, they helped hold me accountable and we got the show up in 2 weeks. And I mean it. It's in this lesson that I just shared with you. So on that episode, we're going to be bringing on about 5 business owners from our community, and we're going to be doing open discussions in business hot seats. So I'm super excited for you to hear it because I'm be breaking down like real world solutions to how to solve problems and what to do. It's going to be absolute gold. I already know. I'm amped up. And so make sure you're looking out for that episode. It'll be published on July 15th. So it's episode 50. And here's what I want you to do. Here's my call to action for you today. If you would like a chance to come on the show, this one with me, and share your superpowers, do a hot seat consultation on the show, have me interview you, answer your questions, answer your business stuff, anything there. I'm going to periodically be inviting members from our Facebook group, our Relationships Beat Algorithms Facebook group, onto the show. So if you ever want to connect with me online, my Facebook group is the best place to do it. So to join, just go to mindofgeorge.com and you'll find it linked on the homepage, of course, with all of other stuff. But make sure you're in our Facebook group because that's where we're going to post this information. That's where we source it. That's where we connect with you and that's where we sync with you. And I'm excited to have you on the show. So to wrap up, I'm going to end this episode because I'm going to commit to my practice because I have a 15-minute meditation right now before my next call. So have an absolute beautiful day. I love you all to pieces. And yes, I mean this. As you put this into practice, post about it. Tag me on Facebook, tag me on Instagram. I want to see it. When you put yourself out there, tag me. When you tell people about your goals, tag me. When you have clarity, tag me. Send me a message. Like, I love it. It makes me happy. And I read all of them and I do read all of them and I respond to all of them and it's a little overwhelming, but I'm going to keep doing it. We'll find a way to make sure we get to all of you. But please keep doing it. I want to see it. I want to support you. I'm in your corner. And at minimum, post it in our Facebook group so everybody in there can be your accountability as well. And so that's what I want you to do. Have a beautiful day. Remember that relationships always beat algorithms. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.